Imagine standing before someone and feeling, for the first time, that the world has stopped pretending. Their presence doesn't excite your ego, it awakens your soul. You don't know why, but something ancient inside you recognizes them, as if your spirit whispers, "There you are." In that moment, time bends. You're not wondering if they like you. You're wondering why it feels like you've known them forever. The right person in your life is not the one who fills your emptiness, but the one who awakens what has long been dormant within you. Most people chase relationships that comfort them, that soothe their insecurities, that promise a kind of peaceful numbness. But the one who is truly meant for you will not simply calm you. They will confront you. They will stir something deeper, not the fragile pleasure of being wanted, but the profound recognition of being seen. Their presence will act like a mirror, not reflecting the face you show the world, but the one you hide even from yourself. You will notice that when you are around them, your defenses soften and your inner contradictions rise to the surface. You begin to face the parts of yourself you once avoided, your fears, your ambitions, your quiet madness, your unspoken dreams. They will draw all of that out, not by force, but by resonance. It is as though your souls recognize each other, not through words, but through vibration. The meeting is not accidental. It feels ancient, as if some forgotten version of you already knew them. They don't just enter your story. They remind you that your story was always meant to unfold toward them. In their company, you do not feel the need to perform. Yet paradoxically, you also feel compelled to rise. You want to become better, clearer, more honest. They challenge your mediocrity by existing. It's not that they preach to you or demand change. Their very presence acts like a summons to growth. And you begin to sense that love, when it is real, is not sentimental comfort, but sacred friction. It is the place where two beings meet, not to escape life, but to sharpen one another against it. You might even resist them at first, because what they awaken in you can feel unsettling. They stir your longing for something higher, something more courageous, something freer. And that is frightening, because real connection dismantles illusion. It strips away your masks and demands that you stand bare before your own truth. The person meant for you will not always make you feel safe in the ordinary sense. They make you feel alive in a deeper one. You will know it's them because their presence does not dull your light. It intensifies it. You feel the stirring of creativity, the ache to evolve, the fire to build, to discover, to transcend. They do not complete you because you were never incomplete. They remind you that the purpose of love is not fusion, but awakening, not to lose yourself in another, but to find yourself through them. They are not your destination, but the mirror that reveals the path you were always meant to walk. And in that reflection, you do not see a savior or an escape. You see the person you are becoming. There is a certain kind of peace that does not need noise to prove its existence. You will know someone is meant for you when silence between you feels like a language of its own. Most people mistake connection for constant conversation, for shared laughter and endless stories. But the truth of two souls is revealed when the words fade and the moment holds steady. If you can sit beside them with nothing to say and yet feel entirely understood, you have found something rare, the kind of bond that does not depend on performance. In a world obsessed with stimulation, the ability to share quiet is sacred. It shows that your spirits are aligned beneath the surface. Silence becomes a mirror, reflecting not awkwardness, but mutual peace. The right person will not make you feel anxious when the talking stops. You will not scramble to fill the gaps. You will simply breathe, as if the presence of the other is enough. That calm is not emptiness, it is trust. It is the sign that you are not seeking validation or attention. You are simply being. When you are with the wrong person, silence feels heavy and uncomfortable, like an invisible wall between two strangers. It exposes the lack of depth, the absence of true resonance. But when the connection is genuine, silence becomes a sanctuary. It nourishes instead of draining. It allows you to rest within it. There is no need to impress or pretend, because both of you understand that connection does not come from constant expression, but from shared stillness. This kind of quiet companionship is not born of boredom, it is born of presence. You realize that you do not need to be entertained or distracted. The person beside you becomes like a reflection of your inner calm, a reminder that peace can exist even in the midst of chaos. You start to understand that true intimacy is not about how loud your laughter is, but how safe your silence feels. When two souls are in harmony, the air between them softens. Time slows down. You notice the rhythm of breathing, the texture of light, the simple awareness of being together. You feel both separate and one at the same time, two consciousnesses sharing a single space without intrusion. There is no hunger to be understood because you already are. This test of silence is one of the purest signs that someone is meant for you. It reveals whether the connection is built on noise or on essence. Words can lie, emotions can deceive, but silence tells the truth. And when that truth feels peaceful, when you sense that nothing is missing, even when nothing is said, you have touched something eternal. In that quiet, you are no longer two individuals trying to connect. You are a single stillness, a shared awareness, a meeting of souls beyond sound. The right person will never shrink your world to make theirs feel bigger. They will not demand that you surrender your individuality to prove your devotion. You will know they are meant for you because, around them, your freedom expands instead of contracts. Their presence does not suffocate, it inspires. You feel lighter, more capable of being who you truly are. The connection becomes a force of liberation, not possession. Love that is real does not imprison the soul. It opens the door and says, "Go further, I will walk beside you." When love is shallow, it becomes a transaction of control. Each person fears losing the other and begins to hold tighter until both are drained. But the one meant for you will never feed on your fear. They will trust that what is real cannot be forced. Their affection will not come with invisible chains or silent ultimatums. Instead, you will feel a quiet confidence in their presence, a space where both of you can exist as individuals and still belong together. Freedom becomes the proof of love, not its enemy. You will notice that they do not ask you to become smaller to soothe their insecurities. They celebrate your strength, your independence, your growth. They want you to have a life outside of them, to pursue passions, friendships, and dreams that are entirely your own. The one meant for you will never be threatened by your light. They will stand in it with pride. And in that shared radiance, both of you rise higher. In their company, you will not feel the need to censor your thoughts or disguise your ambitions. You can speak your truth without fear of being misunderstood or punished for it. They will not always agree with you, but even in disagreement, there will be respect. You will feel the freedom to be imperfect, to change, to evolve. This is what separates real love from control disguised as devotion. The person meant for you wants your wings intact, not clipped. Freedom in love is not the absence of commitment. It is the presence of trust. It means both people know that they are choosing each other, not out of dependency, but out of strength. You remain two whole beings walking parallel paths that occasionally merge, not two halves clinging for survival. There is a deep maturity in this kind of bond, one that understands that love must breathe to stay alive. When you find someone who gives you space to become, you will notice that you no longer fear losing them. You realize that love rooted in freedom is love that endures. Possession fades, but respect deepens. The right person is not the one who cages your soul. They are the one who hands you the key and says, "Fly, I will be here when you return." And in that act, both souls discover that love and liberty were never opposites. They were always the same force. When you meet the person who is truly meant for you, they will not flatter your illusions. They will not be the kind of companion who feeds your comfort by agreeing with your every thought. Instead, they will serve as a mirror of truth, a presence that strips away your disguises and forces you to confront the things you pretend not to see. Love, in its highest form, is not about being endlessly validated. It is about being seen clearly, sometimes painfully, but always authentically. The right person will challenge your delusions, not because they wish to harm you, but because they wish to awaken you. It is easy to mistake comfort for love. Many people seek relationships where their egos are constantly soothed, where no one questions their weaknesses, and where the illusion of harmony replaces real intimacy. But the soul that is meant for you will not tolerate your falsehoods. They will hold up a mirror to your contradictions, your fears, your unhealed wounds, and in doing so, they will call you to rise beyond them. It will not always feel gentle. Sometimes their truth will sting, and you will feel the urge to retreat back into the safety of ignorance. But it is through this discomfort that your real self begins to emerge. The presence of such a person acts like a flame. It burns away pretense and leaves only essence. You will notice that when they speak, even in simple words, something inside you stirs. They awaken the conscience that you tried to quiet, the voice within that whispers what you have avoided. You may even resist them at first, because the ego does not like exposure. It prefers the sweetness of illusion to the sharpness of truth. But if you allow their honesty to touch you, you will find yourself evolving in ways you never thought possible. This kind of connection is not always peaceful. There will be moments of tension, moments when you feel seen too deeply. Yet beneath it all, there is a profound respect, a recognition that this person is not your enemy, but your catalyst. Their honesty is not cruelty. It is care in its most courageous form. They are willing to risk your approval for the sake of your awakening. They understand that real love is not about keeping you comfortable. It is about keeping you real. You will know them by how you feel after the confrontation, not during it. After the discomfort fades, you will feel cleaner inside, lighter, more honest with yourself. Their truth will not destroy you. It will purify you. They do not come to flatter your mask, but to reveal your soul. And once you have tasted that level of truth in love, you will never again settle for the comfort of deceit. When someone is meant for you, their energy will not confuse you. It will not rush in like chaos, nor vanish like smoke. You will feel both the warmth of passion and the stillness of peace. This is the balance that marks a genuine connection, the meeting point between fire and calm. Many people mistake emotional turbulence for love because it feels intense. But real connection is not about constant drama. It is the rare combination of excitement and safety, where your heart beats faster, yet your mind feels at ease. There will be moments with this person where time seems to disappear, where laughter feels effortless and the world feels alive again. That is the fire, the spark that ignites your creativity, your courage, your sense of wonder. You feel inspired, not drained. You feel awakened, not overwhelmed. The passion does not come from insecurity or fear of loss, but from the joy of being fully present with someone who matches your rhythm. Their presence stirs something ancient in you, as if your souls recognize each other beyond words. Yet alongside that fire, there is a deep calm. It is the quiet certainty that you don't have to fight for their attention, that you don't have to chase or prove your worth. When you are with them, you can exhale. You can exist without pretending. This calm is not the absence of passion. It is the grounding that makes passion sustainable. It allows love to breathe without suffocating under the weight of fear. With the wrong person, passion burns too quickly. It becomes obsession, control, or chaos. But with the right one, the flame is steady. It warms you. It does not consume you. In their presence, you will feel a strange paradox, an electric stillness. You are alive, alert, and yet completely at peace. It is the sensation of being fully awake without anxiety. You feel inspired to grow, to create, to dream, yet you also feel anchored, as if you found your center. That balance is not accidental. It is the result of mutual resonance. Two souls vibrating in harmony create both movement and stillness. When love holds both passion and peace, it transforms you. It does not just entertain your heart, it matures your spirit. You learn that love is not a storm to survive, but a rhythm to flow with. The right person becomes both your fire, igniting your best self, and your calm, reminding you that you are safe to be that self. This kind of connection doesn't shout. It doesn't need to prove itself. It feels like the flame of a candle in a quiet room, gentle, steady, and eternal. You are drawn to it not because it blinds you, but because it illuminates. It becomes clear that true love is not found in extremes, but in the delicate space where intensity and serenity coexist, where your soul can burn and rest at the same time. There is a question that reaches beyond time itself. If life were to repeat endlessly, would you still choose this person again and again? That is how you know if someone is meant for you. It is not about momentary pleasure or convenience. It is about whether their presence carries meaning that transcends a single lifetime. There are people who pass through our lives like passing weather. They stir emotion, then vanish. But the one meant for you feels like an echo that never fades, a resonance that would return no matter how many times the story is told. When you look at them, you do not just see a face or a body. You sense a familiarity that words cannot hold. It is as if something ancient in you recognizes them, as though your paths have crossed before in forgotten dreams. That feeling is not fantasy. It is the soul's way of remembering what the mind cannot. The bond feels inevitable, not because of fate written in the stars, but because of the truth written in your being. You realize that even if life reshuffled every card, you would still find your way back to this presence, because they awaken something essential in you that no one else does. The person meant for you will not just make you feel loved, they will make you feel understood in the deepest silence. They will challenge you, teach you, inspire you, and remind you that meaning exists even in struggle. When you are with them, existence feels sharper, more alive. The days carry a kind of purpose. You begin to sense that the universe itself conspired for your meeting, not to give you comfort, but to push you toward growth, to test whether your soul is capable of choosing love with awareness rather than illusion. This connection is not always easy. It may demand everything from you: honesty, patience, courage. But even in moments of difficulty, you feel the pull to stay, to learn, to evolve. It is as if some invisible thread ties you not through desire, but through destiny. You understand that walking away would not erase them. It would only delay the lesson that life intends through them. The person meant for you is not merely a romantic partner. They are a force that shapes your becoming. In their presence, time feels less linear. You experience the strange sensation of eternity condensed into a moment. Every glance, every word, carries the weight of something larger than this life. You start to see love not as a fleeting emotion, but as an eternal echo, the reminder that what is true never dies, it only transforms. When you imagine the endless return of life's cycle, if your heart whispers yes to choosing them again, then you have found not just love, but meaning, the kind that outlives time itself. The truth about knowing if someone is meant for you is not found in signs or surface emotions. It is revealed in the depth of your becoming. The right person will not arrive to rescue you, but to remind you of who you are meant to be. They will mirror your hidden strength, honor your silence, protect your freedom, challenge your illusions, balance your fire, and echo through the corridors of your soul like something eternal. Their presence will not demand that you abandon yourself. It will demand that you return to yourself. You will not feel chained to them, nor will you fear losing them, because what binds you is not control, but understanding. You will see that real connection is not built on fleeting passion, but on truth, the kind of truth that survives both silence and distance. You will learn that love, when it is genuine, is not a possession, but a partnership of growth. It does not end where individuality begins. It thrives because of it. To know if this person is meant for you, look not at how they make you feel in your moments of comfort, but at who you become in their presence. Do they make you smaller or larger, weaker or freer, deluded or awakened? The one meant for you will not dim your light to make theirs shine. They will stand beside you in brilliance, And in the stillness of your own awareness, when all the noise fades, you will recognize it, that quiet certainty that this soul was never a coincidence. They were written into your evolution, not to complete your story, but to remind you that love, in its highest form, is not about finding another. It is about finding yourself reflected in another and becoming whole through that recognition.